Hi, I'm Brandon LaBeouf, owner of the St. Bernard Indoor Shooting Center, as well as NOLATAC Training and Consulting. If you're watching this video, then you're currently in the market to take the Louisiana Concealed Handgun Permit course, the course you need in order to apply for your Louisiana Concealed Handgun Permit. What I want to give you today is a word of caution. Not all instructors are created equal. Unfortunately, as in any market or industry, there are going to be people out there that are not going to be honorable, that are not going to do good business, and that are flat out going to break the law when they see an opportunity to make money. And that's what I want to warn you about today. Because unfortunately, those people are preying on your ignorance of the program, of the process, because you don't know what you're supposed to be getting. When you show up to a course, you're assuming that what the instructor is teaching you is what they're supposed to be teaching you. You have no basis of comparison to know, did they leave things out? Did they say things wrong? Did they not cover certain stuff they were supposed to cover? That's what we want to talk about today. First off, with some exception, there are two primary formats that this course can take. The first is the NRA, the National Rifle Association's basic pistol course. There are some other courses such as personal protection inside the home, personal protection outside the home, and some other courses that you can take. But predominantly, what will be marketed to you as a Louisiana Concealed Handgun Permit course is going to be the NRA Basic Pistol course. And that's fine. That course format is perfectly acceptable. It is a legal certificate that you take and turn in order to apply for your permit. The other format you will see is typically what we call the 9-hour format. That is a format that an instructor follows an outline and puts their curriculum, sends it to the state approves it, that yes, this meets our requirements, you can teach this, and then that is that instructor's own branded course. For example, the NOLATAC Concealed Handgun Permit course. That is not an NRA sanctioned course or any other organization sanctioned course. I won't get into the virtues of why one format may be better than the other one. All I'm worried about is that when you choose the instructor that you're going to take this class from, whether they are selling you the NRA Basic Pistol course or the XYZ Company CHP course, it's important that those courses be done appropriately. Otherwise, they could become illegal courses, which means if you do have to use force, if there's an incident involved where you use lethal force and the fact that you were armed and legally armed because you had a concealed handgun permit comes into question, as that investigative process goes back and it's found that that instructor cut corners and didn't do that course per the proper curriculum or per the state law, that could prove to be a pretty substantial legal obstacle for you. Furthermore, while neither one of those formats in any way, shape, or form fully equips you to know everything you need to know about carrying a firearm or using one in defense, the time that that instructor has you captive in that classroom is very important. And depending on the integrity and the ethics of that instructor, that's how hard they're going to work to make sure that every minute of that time is giving you the most important information you need. Now, if they're teaching an NRA Basic Pistol course or one of the NRA courses, they're somewhat limited because they are supposed to follow the curriculum that NRA provides verbatim. They may choose to add some time after the NRA course is in it to give you some additional information. But if they're deviating from that NRA curriculum, that basically invalidates the NRA course. NRA is going to say, wait a minute, that's not our curriculum. That's not how we teach it. So you've gotten your permit based on that certificate, and then when NRA testifies that, no, we don't talk about situational awareness, we don't talk about places you can and can't carry, we don't talk about self-defense law in our basic pistol course, now the validity of your training and your permit comes into question. That could be a huge obstacle for you and your defense team. Likewise, if the instructor is teaching the 9-hour format and he or she is deviating from that format or skipping major components, they have a lot more latitude in what can be taught in that as long as it's following the basic outline approved by the state. But some instructors do get off that course and they don't cover certain material, or they cover material they feel is more important, which is fine, but if it's at the expense of the stuff the state requires, that becomes an issue. The bottom line is this. In order to get a concealed handgun permit in the state of Louisiana, where you're required to take a training class, with rare exception, that training class must be somewheres in the neighborhood of 7.5 to 9 hours. If it's an NRA course, that is typically an 8-hour minimum time is what NRA kind of substantiates for that. It can be done in 7.5 hours. It may go as long as 8 or 9 hours. But if you're taking an 8-hour class and that instructor is presenting it to you in 3, 4, or 5 hours, there's something being left out. Okay. Likewise, if they're teaching a 9-hour format, can it be done in 8.5 hours? Sure, depending on the body of the students, how many questions they have. Maybe it's a special group that already has a good bit of knowledge. There's some things that can be gone through faster. Fine. The problem is that you don't know what you're supposed to be getting. So if this instructor has a little bit of charisma and personality, you walk out of there having had a good time and learned a lot, but did you learn what you were supposed to learn? So just be mindful. Lots of times when we tell people, yeah, the class is going to be 9 hours, they're like, not. Keep this in mind. You're devoting 9 hours of your life to something that's going to happen in fractions of a second that will cost you or affect the absolute rest of your life. 9 hours is a drop in the bucket, okay? And like I said, it does not come anywhere near, especially if it's the NRA basic pistol format, giving you that core information that you need to begin the learning journey of what it takes to be prepared to legally, morally, and practically carry and potentially use a firearm to defend yourself or your loved ones. Look, if you don't want to take the class from us, that's fine. But do yourself a favor. At least contact us so that we could possibly recommend you an instructor in your area or even in our area, someone other than us that we know is going to teach you a legal course. There's better instructors than others. That's not what we're concerned with. That's the marketplace. Everyone has different levels of quality in their product, if you will. What we're concerned with are those instructors that are skirting the law, that are setting you up for failure so that they can make a few extra $100 on the weekends. That's not ethical or moral, at least by my personal standards. All right. So, if you have any questions about if you've taken a course and you were out of there in 2 to 3, 4, 5 hours, or you didn't shoot, you're required to shoot. If you didn't shoot, or you have any questions about, hey, this is what happened, was this a legal class? Call us. We'll be more than happy to help you figure out if you possibly need to retake that class for your own benefit. And there's plenty of times we let students that already have their permit but realize that they kind of got shafted by their instructor come sit in our class to at least get the information, because that's what's important, is getting the information. You come in, you get the information, and you give us feedback, because we're looking for those guys. There's a large body of instructors that are doing this honorably and legally, and when we know those people who are out there taking advantage of students, we seek them out, and we use every legal recourse to try to get them out of the pool of people that could potentially teach. We love competition. We want instructors. We teach instructor development courses here. We host different events to help instructors develop. However, when we find out there's someone that's doing things wrong, that's putting people in danger, we take that very seriously and we attack that with a vengeance. So do yourself a favor, caveat emptor, buyer beware. Make sure you're doing a little bit of research on your instructor, who they are, how long they've been instructing. Contact other instructors, contact other students they may have had. If they are withholding of any information, FBI calls that a clue, okay? Of course, all the instructors here at NOLATAC and the St. Bernard Shooting Center are all vetted and properly certified and teach the course per the standards above and beyond. We can also, as I said previously, we can put you in contact with instructors across the state that teach the class, maybe better than us, maybe not as good as us, but legal. And that's what's important. So guys, as always, be vigilant, be prepared. Y'all stay safe.